అండ్ రాష్ట్రాల ఎన్నికల షెడ్యూల్ ఈసీ విడుదల చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
Effective implementation of MCC guidelines. Any violation of these guidelines would be strictly dealt with the Commission. The government of the poll-bound state has also been directed through the concerned authorities to ensure that there is no misuse of official machinery or position during the MCC period. There would also be videography and webcasting of the and CCTV coverage of all the critical events, and the events of videography will include filing of nomination papers, scrutiny thereof, allotment of symbols, first level checking preparations, storage of EVMs, important public meetings, processions. CCTV would also be installed at important border checkposts and static checkposts for the interstate checkposts which are set up by the police department. The Commission has also directed that webcasting or CCTV coverage would be undertaken in critical polling station locations or vulnerable areas to closely monitor the proceedings on the poll day without violating the secrecy of the voting machines. As far as law and order security arrangement and deployment of forces is concerned, we have held detailed meetings with the state police authorities, the central police authorities under MHA, that is the Central Police Force, which will be deployed. And the CAPF shall be deployed well in advance for area domination. Some of the companies have already reached there. And route marches in vulnerable pockets, joint patrolling and other confidence building measures would also be undertaken to build faith in the mind of the voters. The CAPF and the state armed police would also be deployed in the expenditure sensitive constituencies and other vulnerable areas and critical polling stations. There would also be election expenditure monitoring by the deployment of flying squad, static surveillance teams, video surveillance teams, involvement of investigation directorates of the income tax departments, state excise department and police authorities have been asked to monitor the production, distribution, sale and storage of liquor and other intoxicants. As far as the limit of the election is concerned, I would only like to share with you that the limit or ceiling for the election expenditure for any candidate who is contesting any of the seat in these three state assemblies is rupees 20 lakh per candidates. All candidates are required to furnish their accounts of expenditure to the DO within 30 days of the declaration of results. Similarly, the political parties are also required to submit the accounts of the expenditure incurred by them within 75 days of the completion of such elections. The CEO and the DO's office have been given suitable instructions for media engagement and similarly use of social media. We have discussed at length with all the DOs and the CEO has discussed with the ROs and the DOs. Paid news related issues, also the MCMC committees would be set up in each district, media certification and monitoring committees at district level, state level and commission level. Now the Commission has already issued exhaustive instructions as far as paid news are concerned, and those instructions will be strictly implemented. As far as systematic voters education and electoral participation, the SWEEP program, voter facilitation centers have been activated in all the districts of Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura to facilitate voters. Special campaign has been undertaken regarding the usage of VVPATs and VVPAT awareness starting from October 2017, because in these three states EVMs have been used for last 20 years, but the VVPATs are going to be used for the first time. Short awareness videos on VVPATs have also been developed and widely disseminated through cinemas, cable TV, social media, WhatsApp. And now, as far as deployment of observers is concerned, the Commission would be deploying an appropriate number of general observers, police observers and the expenditure observers who would be acting as the eyes and ears of the Commission, and they would ensure that all the instructions of the model code of conduct and the expenditure ceiling limits are complied with by all the contesting candidates and the political parties. The new IT applications which are already been used in last 1 or 2 years will also be implemented effectively in these three states also. The first one is the Samadhan, that is the public grievance redressal and complaint monitoring system. A citizen would have now the multi-channel facility to lodge any election-related complaint through website, email, letter, fax, SMS, or call center. A mobile app is also being developed through which the voters can file their complaint. The second application is Suvidha, that is a single window clearance, which will be given in 24 hours for the routine permissions, and in 36 hours in case helipad is to be set up and helicopter landing is required. For vehicle management also the Sugam module would be implemented, and e-payment would also be ensured to the extent possible, so that the staff and the vehicle owners get their payments much faster. As far as conduct of officials is concerned, the Commission expects all officials engaged in conduct of elections to discharge their duties in an impartial manner without any fear or favor. They are also deemed to be on deputation to the Commission and shall be subject to its control, supervision and discipline. The conduct of all government officials who have been entrusted with the election-related responsibilities and duties would remain under the constant scrutiny of Commission, and action against